Hi there, in this video I'm going to be helping you to play the advanced part from Guitar Revolution. Now Guitar Revolution is made up out of 4 parts. It's made up out of the riff part, which animates to red in the official video, the arpeggio part which turns green, the melody part that turns blue, and then the advanced part that we're working on here which animates to yellow in the official video. Now it's really worth, if you haven't already, getting stuck into the riff part, okay, before you look at the advanced part, purely because it's the foundations of the whole piece and it runs through, so it gives you a real great idea of the structure and a good feel to what's going on. Okay, so the advanced part is ultimately bringing all the parts together. We're working through with the chords and we've got the melody in there, and then we've also got kind of a rhythm thing going on that's reminiscent of the riff. Now, it's really worth also getting to grips with the arpeggio part to give you a feel for what's going on chordally as well, but I will summarise what's happening in this video as well. Okay, so looking at the main theme, that first section, we work through something like this. So that's one cycle. Now we actually only do 2 cycles in that first main theme. So what's happening? Well, we're working through with a B minor first of all, but we're having to fret it in a slightly different way. So we're not doing the full B minor bar chord where we've got this D string covered. We're kind of using our 2nd, 3rd and 4th finger, covering 2nd, 3rd and 4th frets from the E up to the G, and then using our 1st finger on the A string for that bass. Now, you'll notice that I tend to rake through the notes. You don't have to do that, but can add a bit of personality and character to it. But when we're all playing together, if some people are raking through and some people are not, that's going to create a really nice effect. So don't obsess too much about that. But ultimately, in its most basic form, that first note, if you're not raking through, we're just playing the A and the E together, and then pulling off our 2nd finger to reveal the open E. Okay, or if you're raking. Okay, then we play the B string and then down to the G. Okay, and then we repeat playing the A and the E together to finish the melody. So, and then our thumb comes down and plays that open D. So you can see, especially with that open D, where we're sort of being reminiscent of that riff part. Okay, and then the next bar is just a pulse really, okay? So we're working through, you can leave your 2nd finger off and just work through the A, D and G in that kind of pattern. So, all together so far. Okay. Then we move to our next chord, which is that B minor with that A in the bass, and we're holding down like this with our 2nd finger on the 3rd fret and the B, and our 1st finger right behind it on the 2nd fret, ready to play the next melody note. Okay, there you can rake through again, or just very basically play the A and the B, pull off, and then our G, D, and then we repeat the A and B, and then come down and play the D. This is the same kind of pattern. Okay, and then we work through A, D, G, A, D, G. Okay, and then holding the same chord shape, we rake through or play the A and B together with that 2, and then pull off to the open B. And then play through that G, D, and then we land on our G6. Okay, so, and then come down and play that D. So far, okay, so we've landed on that D, and now we work through our G6 for 3 bars. adding our third finger on the 4th fret now, then our little finger on the 5th fret now. Okay, so far, and its entirety really for the whole cycle. Once we've played that through twice, we then just play that note of G here, just very quickly. 2, 3, 4. Okay, going back to the whole idea of raking through the notes. As I said, it's very, absolutely acceptable and brilliant for you just to play very simply. But if you do want to rake, the idea, or the way that I play it, is my fingers are sort of hooked in position. And I just roll them out as more of a wrist movement, really. But really pronouncing that note that I'm aiming at. But it really is fine to just play it in a much more basic way. Okay, so once we've counted 2, 3, 4 of silence, then the riff arpeggio will come in. And that will go around 4 times. Then the arpeggios will come in. That'll go around 4 times. Melody arpeggios. That'll go around 4 times. And then finally we come in with the 10th and 11th. So 11 on D, open G, and 10 on B, working through 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, D, G, B, D, G, B, D, G. So we're only going through 4 times, so it's quite a long time to wait, but you can wait for my signal on the day if you really struggle to count that far, which I do as well, so I completely understand. And then, as with the other parts, we just finish on that first note of the bar, 2, 3, 4. Then we go into the variation of the main theme, which is exactly the same, but instead of that sort of dead bar, if you like, where we're just carrying the pulse, or that we were doing in the main theme, we now simply play the melody again. But when we get to the G, we obviously pedal through as before. Okay, so we do that 4 times round. Then we stop, let the riff take over. And then when that riff comes to an end, we go to that B minor 7 chord, covering 2 on A, G, and E with the open D and B, strum through, and let it ring out.